But the first home game of the year about to get underway for Oglethorpe.
And Transylvania wins the tip. That tip goes back to Dakota Caps. Oglethorpe opens in a 2-3 zone. John said they'll mix a little bit of zone with their man-to-man. Shot from the left side is nothing but net by Colby Napier.
I think they're going to call out of bounds. I know a little bit of
he looked deep.
view.
Yeah, he looked deep there.
So he was out of bounds on that one. So a turnover, first turnover caused of the game by Oglethorpe, and they're going to bring it across the court. And it looks like a little man-to-man defense for the Pioneers.
Oglethorpe in their motion offense. Zigbo to Dooley. Dooley takes it to the elbow. From the right elbow, he's off the mark. Matthew Teague with the rebound for the Pioneers.
Almost looks like a little bit of matchup in the 2-3. They are really rotating hard. This is where you have to get back on the shooters. Not able to do so right there is number 4.
Jalen
Green able to knock that one down. Good rotation there, and it looked like, unfortunately for Oglethorpe, a little too deep in the paint on the defensive set.
Got to be active in that zone, especially against a team that's going to shoot it well. That pass is knocked away by Dakota Caps, but it goes off the leg of Jackson Kemp, and it'll be Pioneer ball. 18:47 left here in the half.
That's a play to watch later. It looked like Kemp's overplaying the ball. That might set up for a jab towards the top of the key and hedge and go with a back door, and they might be able to get a layup off of that. Let's watch for that as this action unfolds a little bit later on.
Matthew Teague will inbound here at the half-court stripe to Dakota Caps.
I think we're having a little shot clock issue right now. The shot clock's sitting at 20, and not sure that it ever reset after the turnover. They're going to take side out of bounds here. Like a nice little crowd here getting ready for Thanksgiving week. I know a lot of people are going to be heading home for the holidays if they haven't. Judging by Atlanta traffic today, I think everybody was trying to get out of town.
Yeah, our drive from the Atlanta airport to Oglethorpe's campus took longer than our flight from Dallas to Atlanta. So the Pioneers with Teague, Green, Caps, Napier, and Penn on the floor. Teague inbounds to Caps. They go with a 1-4 high set.
Oglethorpe switches to man on this one.
Backdoor cut by the Pioneers. Teague's pass knocked away by the Stormy Petrels. Inbound under Dakota Caps, so inbound for the Pioneers. They're in that 2-3 zone. Nice job. Good aggressive defense in that zone.
Really good right there at the top of the key. Mason Kemp at 6'3", using his length to make that pass a little bit more difficult. Pass out of bounds. Petrels will bring the ball back up court now as they try to get on the board for the first time. Malachi Dooley, his first major action was coming off the bench.
Uba Zigba with the drive just off the iron. Pioneers out quick. Jalen Green with the ball. Taken to the middle. Nice job by Mason Kemp. Matthew Teague off the mark. Great D there by Uba Zigba.
Again, Zigba used strength down there as he just really bodied the offensive player out of the way and able to come up with a block.
Malachi Dooley to the rack. Thought he took some contact there on Jalen Green. No call. Left-hander Matthew Teague takes it into the paint, banks it off straight away to go up 5-0 at the 17:30 mark here in the first half. Zigbo, nothing but net from 15 feet on that left baseline, and Oglethorpe is on the board.
Zigba right now, your second leading scorer on the year, as I mentioned, 12 points a game. He's not afraid to shoot it. Had a couple of nice looks so far, and that's the first one on the baseline he's able to knock down.
A little bit of confusion on the defense there. Malachi Dooley thought they were going to switch. Mason Kemp stayed with the ball there, and an easy layup. Pioneers go up 7-2. Dooley, good drive. Mason Kemp with a good take. Can't get it to roll, gets his own board and puts it back up and in.
Gotta love the stick-to-itiveness. Missed on the left hand, comes back on the other side. Strong, no fear of getting blocked, up and in, and they've cut the deficit now to 7-4.
Oglethorpe back in their man defense. Mason Kemp all over Dakota Caps. Caps can't make it. Jackson Kemp with the rebound brings it up the floor.
Kemp brothers have an old school look. Little Kurt Rambis action going there.
Ryan Janae with the drive across the paint, off the glass and in, and Oglethorpe cuts it to 1.
Love that. A little up and under. Use the rim as a second defender, and Janae able to get his first basket of the day.
Petrel's back in that 2-3 zone. Jalen Green off the mark, air ball. Colby Napier tried to save it, but cannot, so it's going to be Oglethorpe ball after the media timeout with the Pioneers up 7-6. John, pretty good start here for Oglethorpe.
Yeah, able to climb back into it. Gave up an early 3 and gave up an early layup, but they have got things going. I forget about the media timeout. You think about this during the NCAA tournament, the under 16, the under 12, the under 8. We're going to have those timeouts as well. Coach Ponder has to like the start a little bit better. He mentioned team had been off to a couple of slow starts. I like the aggressiveness. Ryan Janae, your leading scorer on the year, 13.3 points a game, shooting 64.7% from the field throughout the year so far, early part of the season. He finally gets one going, and we'll see if the Stormy Petrels, this is where we'll see, Roy, if their depth, having 20 compared to 10, eventually starts to wear on Transylvania.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. We'll see how they do coming out of this. Hey, fans, just want to remind you, gopetrels.com, Oglethorpe's official website. Man, you can get it's updated daily. Daniel Monge, the sports information director here at Oglethorpe University, does a great job. You're going to get the latest news and information on the Stormy Petrels, photos, news, scores, schedules. So make sure you put gopetrels.com in your favorites bar so you can stay on top of all the action. Dooley brings it up the floor.
Transylvania 5 still going to be on the floor for Oglethorpe.
Yep, Transylvanian man-to-man. Zigba off the mark from 3. Matthew Teague with the rebound brings it up quick. Colby Napier with the fake and the flyby by Dooley. Rebound by Hunter Penn. Dakota Caps is going to be short, and Malachi Dooley with the rebound. Zigba, nothing but a hoop. Good, strong drive. You talked about what a great athlete he is.
Yeah.
Man, I would hate to defend a guy like that.
That is size, and the ability to handle the rock is really good. Switching it up back into the 2-3 zone again is Oglethorpe.
Colby Napier with the ball fake. Good defense by Oglethorpe, but Colby Napier knocks down a contested jumper from the left baseline to go up 9-8.
Yeah, good job there by Transylvania, attacking the middle of that 2-3 zone, drive and kick, and finding an open shooter.
Mason Kemp took a look about. He's going to put it on the floor and knocks one down. A nice old school runner.
Yeah, the kids these days love to do that floater, the Trey Young. That was just a little runner in the lane. That's a tough shot to make, coming downhill and being able to use that soft touch, but Kemp did just that.
Back in the zone. Oh, they left a man wide open in the paint. Can't do that.
Went a little high-low action there. Got a guy at the free throw line, and we're able to dump it down underneath for the basket. 0, Matthew Teague there. And a massive, it's like a hockey line change right now. 5 new players coming in for Oglethorpe.
Well, and you talked about that Coach Ponder was going to go 5 in, 5 out, and they did right there. Chris Feeney coming into the ball game, as well as Dylan Benefield.
Trey Harris in the game as well.
Robert Reisman and
Tyler O'Donohue.
Yep.
So that's the new 5 on the floor for the Stormy Petrels. Transylvania almost looks like a little box and 1 action right now, or a little 1-3-1 trap, actually.
Yep, little 1-3-1, putting a little bit of trapping action. Go to the short corner to Trey Harris there. He gets out of trouble. Reisman trying to go to the corner to Harris, but stolen by Colby Napier. Pioneers push it up quick. Looking for Napier. Madsen with the take, goes to the corner, and Jalen Green gets the open look and knocks it down from the right corner for three. It's 14-10 Pioneers.
Pioneers extending their defense in this 1-3-1 trap all the way to half court. This is where you got to drive, kick, hit, find open shooters.
A little bit of a walk there by Chris Feeney. That 1-3-1 defense is something that John Beeline used quite a bit at West Virginia, and it really just gets into passing lanes and takes a little bit of your momentum away. You've got to either match it with some movement or really be aggressive on the drives and kicks. Oglethorpe back into their 2-3. Alex Madsen, top of the key. He had just checked in. Rebound by Hunter Penn, but Dylan Benefield with the steal. Off to Trey Harris, who lays it in. Nice defense, and they convert on that transition.
Great athleticism. Trey Harris got up. I thought he was going to dunk that one home.
Napier off the mark again. He's not afraid to shoot it from the arc. Dylan Benefield back dribbles into a three. Trey Harris right there. He's going to go up just off the iron. No good. Rebound by Hunter Penn. And you can see Hunter Penn now slow jogging. Some of that depth you talked about might be affecting him.
No call there. I thought Benefield stepped in the passing lane and may have drawn a charge. Not there. And they're going to get a second out of bounds right there as Dakota Capps went to drive by with a head fake, step left foot on the out of bounds line. 14-12 right now, Stormy Petrel's trail. But yeah, you're right. And absolutely right now, Hunter Penn going to check out.
Luke
number
Schroeder.
44, Luke Schroeder coming in. Biggest player on the floor, 6'9" senior, checking into the game. And he's kind of got the Spencer Strider mustache going right now.
Sydney, Australia is where Luke Schroeder's from. And as you said, 6'9" center. Benefield to Feeney, over to the left corner. Trey Harris looking to the short corner to Robert Reisman. Those are those kind of freshman mistakes you can't afford. Then they get beat back in transition. Coach Ponder is not happy with that, and he's going to take the timeout there.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers in the 1-3-1 where this is where the pass has to be crisp. You talk about the trapping nature of a 1-3-1 defense. The idea is to cause turnovers. It's to get out and passing. And I think about, was it Kevin Pittsnoggle, the old the guy from West Virginia? I forgot the little guard they had, but they did the same thing. They play the passing lanes. They try to turn you over, play the game at their pace, and Transylvania's done a good job so far getting out and running.
Yeah, they really want to take away any momentum with your offense with that extended 1-3-1. And they really want you to force lobs over top of the wings. And, again, we knew that freshmen are going to make freshman mistakes, and we've seen some there. But you can't compound that mistake. Right. If you're a young basketball player watching, you have got to make sure if you turn the ball over that you do a better job of hustling back. You can't hang your head and then get beat back in transition. Coach Ponder with a good timeout there. I know he broke out the whiteboard, I'm sure, talking about how to attack that extended 1-3-1 zone.
Yeah, you talk about turnovers. 4 so far for both squads. So the 2-3 zone for Oglethorpe's done really well. The 1-3-1, I think it's 3 of the last 5 possessions have been turnovers for the Stormy Petrels. But again, get back, close out on the 3-point line, and I think you got a good chance to win. Wear down Transylvania.
Pioneers' Jalen Green leads them with 8 points here in the first half. Benefield, Feeney, Harris, Reisman, and O'Donohue in the ball game.
Looks like you're going to get a reach-in foul there on number 20, Colby Napier. The first time Oglethorpe really went down on the block trying to find a post-up move, and they got a reach-in foul on that one.
Oh, nice inbounds play, but Tyler O'Donohue cannot convert. He had a layup look. Jalen Green kicks it back out to Colby Napier. Off the iron, no good. Chris Feeney with the rebound. Nice crossover. Tipped by the Pioneers, recovered by Benefield. Benefield with a beautiful dish to Tyler O'Donohue.
Love that play, drives the lane, makes it look like he's going to pass, and just off the left hip with a nice bounce pass for an easy lay-in to cut the deficit to 16-14.
Oglethorpe back in their man-to-man. Feeney on Jalen Green. They're going to switch. They will switch 1-4 or 1-5. Just Depends on what they call. They're going to go inside to Luke Schroeder, the big 6'9" Australian, and he banks it off the glass for two. It's 18-14.
Yeah, Schroeder's a big dude, and he had a great seal down there on the block and able to use that 6'9" frame to get great positioning for the lay-in.
Kick outside to that left corner to Benefield again, looking to penetrate. Kicks it back to Trey Harris, off the mark from the left corner. Colby Napier bringing it up strong.
Looks like Coach Ponder already setting another line change to come back. Schroeder once again was able to get his defender on the left hip, drop step and lay it in. That 6'9" body has been a troublesome offensive set right now for Transylvania.
Reisman takes it to the hoop. Good defense by Colby Napier, but his shot goes off Napier's left heel. It's going to be Oglethorpe ball underneath. They're going to have 5 more check in. Jackson Kemp and Mason Kemp check in, along with Uba Azigbo, Ryan Janae, and then inbounding for the first time tonight is going to be
Griffin Cherry, number 15.
Cherry going out to Janae.
Smart play there by Janae as he allowed the ball to go into the backcourt where you can retrieve it.
Mason Kemp with a take. Good, strong take. He had Luke Schroeder on him. That's going to be the advantage offensively, is they've got 5 guards on the floor for Oglethorpe, and Luke Schroeder at 6'9" might have an offensive advantage, but defensively they're going to be – that's a tough assignment. They now have both of their bigs, Hunter Penn and Luke Schroeder, in the ball game. Inside to Penn, goes over that left shoulder. Azigbo had nothing that he can do. He got pinned there on the block, and the Pioneers have gone up 22-16.
And as big as Azigbo is, you're talking about Hunter Penn at 6'5", very wide body. Just use that drop step.
Ryan Janae from the left corner, bottom of the net, cuts the deficit to 3. Great look by the senior.
Yeah, Janae, 50% from downtown on the year coming into this game. Again, the team's leading scorer, his first three of the night for Oglethorpe. Much needed to cut this down to a 3-point deficit.
Oglethorpe back in their 2-3 zone. Kick back out. Madsen from the left wing, no good. Jalen Green tipped the rebound, but Griffin Cherry came up with it. Cherry's pass goes cross court. Azigbo from Janae, and he hits from the right corner. They're heating up a little bit from beyond the arc, and the score is knotted at 22 with 8.5 minutes left.
Yeah, and a great job there again. The little mini transition gets a wide open 3. That's the best time against a defensive set, is to get them when they're on their heels, and the Stormy Petrels did exactly that.
Colby Napier over Jackson Kemp. Good defense by Kemp.
Great play right there. You have to give it to number 2, Alex Madsen. Ball's about to go out of bounds. He jumps up, throws it off of Stormy Petrel, throws it off Ryan Janae, out of bounds, and Transylvania will keep the ball. But we're all knotted at 22. Fun game, good atmosphere right here at Duro Fieldhouse.
I love the student support that Oglethorpe has. Man, it is the whole middle section across from us is full of students. Matthew Teague inbound to Madsen. Madsen's going to try to put up a runner. He misses. Janae with the, Mason Kemp with the rebound, and Colby Napier is going to pick up the foul. That's a dumb one. A little bit of a tired foul, too. You can see he looks a little bit fatigued. They may be coming to get him. They are, as Walker Kyle, a freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee, checks in for the Pioneers.
Hey, you talk about student support. I recognize some of our women's volleyball players right there in the front row, supporting much like a lot of the men's basketball players did during volleyball season.
Love it. At a school like this, you got to love that. Griffin Cherry to Mason Kemp. Mason Kemp going against that freshman Walker Kyle. Good, strong take by Ryan Janae. The left-hander puts the Stormy Petrels up 2 with 7.5 left in the half.
Roy, you coached a long time. There's something about being able to use your offhand and laying the ball in. It's a lost start, and Janae did exactly that on a nice lefty lay-in.
This 2-3 defense doing a nice job. Hunter Penn with a big rebound there. There he used his girth, no doubt about it. Used his size to come up with that rebound, and the offensive putback knots it at 24.
Yeah, Teague against 6'4" with the drive, so you have to help him on the drive. Kemp doing exactly the same thing, though.
Yeah, Mason Kemp really taking Walker Kyle off the drive. That's a defensive mismatch for the Pioneers. It goes off of Kyle, and it is going to be a media timeout with 7:02 left in the first half, tied at 24.
Yeah, early on, game tied at 24. You look about how this game's going. Oglethorpe right now shooting 50% from the floor, 11 for 22 so far. Also 40% from downtown, 2 of 5. They've held Transylvania, a team that wants to put up some threes, 2 of 9 from downtown, just 22%. A lot of what they're doing is closing out, running them off the line, and making them work. Free throws, neither team has shot a free throw, which is amazing. 12-11 on the rebound side. We've had a couple of lead changes, and we've had a couple of ties. It's what happens with two very evenly matched teams so far. 13 minutes into game action, tied at 24 apiece.
Yeah, Hunter Penn with 4 rebounds for Transylvania, and Zigbo and Kemp, Mason Kemp with 2 apiece on the glass. So you're right as far as that defense. Obviously, a lot of times teams say, well, you can't zone, you're going to give up a lot of shots, but not if you close out with the intent to force them to put it on the floor. And that's the beauty of this 2-3 zone defense that Coach Ponder plays, is they really do a nice job closing out with full speed and running people off the three-point arc.
All I know is watching Jim Boeheim with that 2-3 zone. You get in an NCAA tournament, and if you're not used to seeing it, it is aggravating.
Oglethorpe to inbound under. They'll go to Ryan Janae. He'll get it to Zigbo. Zigbo going against Penn. Kicks it out to Mason Kemp. This one is off the mark to the right. Still tied at 22 with 6:52 left in the half.
And Kemp normally a good three-point shooter, 44% from downtown so far on the year. That one got away from him. Tried to rush it just a hair with that trapping defense closing out.
Yep, definitely a travel. Walker Kyle travels for the Pioneers, freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Played at Bearden High School, really nice high school program. Oglethorpe inbounds, Jackson Kemp to Griffin Cherry. Cherry getting some extended time. He throws that one away. Quick hands by Jalen Green. The Pioneers are off to the races. They're going to call Griffin Cherry for the block. Now, to his credit, he did turn it over, but he sprints back. First guy back, tries to take the charge. Can't come up with it.
And you're going to have an immediate substitution. It looks like number 12 set to check in the game. Actually, they're going with the line change again. Here we come with 5 more Stormy Petrels coming in, including for the first time, number 3, Jordan James, a 6'3 sophomore out of Kennesaw Mountain, set to check in for the first time.
So Chris Feeney.
Looks like Robbie Reisman again.
Yeah, Reisman, Trey Harris. As you said, Jordan James. Jordan James comes in averaging 9 points, 2.7 rebounds a game. He's a sophomore.
And Dylan Benefield as well checking in. So a different line. This lineup has not been on the floor yet today.
Reisman with the rebound, gets it to Malachi Dooley. Little bit of pressure here, a 2-2-1 look from Transylvania. Reisman to the right corner to Trey Harris. Thought he got hit. Doesn't matter. Trey Harris buries it. It's 27-25 Oglethorpe.
And that's exactly what you do against the trap. If you can break it, there will be openings to shoot threes, and you got exactly that. Trey Harris, a knockdown jumper.
Dakota Caps up top. Alex Madsen feeds it inside to Teague. Teague got it to Penn. And how about Jordan James with the block on the big 6'5" Hunter Penn. Oglethorpe brings it down. Dooley to Reisman. Reisman's going to work the baseline going against Teague. No call. This one's going to go off. They say off of Jordan James. Thought it might have gone off of Dakota Caps. No call there. Matthew Teague will inbound, and the Pioneers come down the floor trailing by 2.
Yeah, Robbie Reisman, a 6'3 sophomore out of Gainesville High School, Gainesville, Georgia. 5.5 points a game, 53.8% from the field. Thought he had a layup there. I thought he got bumped on it. No call and unfortunately could not come up with a basket.
They are definitely looking to pound it inside, and they got it inside there to Hunter Penn, who lays it off the glass to knot it back up at 27 apiece.
Yeah, Hunter Penn is a wide body and is doing a great job with some pin downs, being able to come up and get good positioning.
That 1-3-1 defense again. Trey Harris comes up with the loose ball. I think they reset the clock.
It looks like he called to reset the clock because Transylvania had it, tried to throw it back in. Oglethorpe recontrol, so shot clock set back to 20, 4:58 left to play here in the first half.
Chris Feeney, 5 turnovers in the first 3 games. Chris is a transfer from Flagler University down in Florida, Division II school. Actually played on the under-18 national team for Great Britain. He's out of Glasgow, Scotland, and has struggled a little bit from the floor. Really good three-point shooter. They need him to regain his stroke. Now more of a 3-2 look. They get it inside to Jordan James. Goes that left hand off the glass, and it is good. Took contact from Hunter Penn, no call. The Stormy Petrels go up to 29-27.
Hey, Jordan James has some springs in those legs. I think it took him 4 steps to get back down court. Looked like a gazelle running down the floor.
Good defensive closeout by Chris Feeney. Teague up top against Dooley. They get it into the paint on Penn. He's off the mark, but Penn crashes, doesn't get boxed out, and the Pioneers retain possession. Jalen Green from the left wing for 3, and the Pioneers take the lead back at 30-29.
Yeah, that one, offensive rebounds, those will kill you. Kick back out. Hunter Penn, you got to put a body or 2 on him to stop him from getting on the glass.
Robert Reisman, what a play. Trey Harris. Oglethorpe went directly from the top to the baseline to Trey Harris. He had to try to save the ball, and when he saved it, it was at Robert Reisman's feet. Reisman grabs it and figure 8s it between his legs into his left hand, and he gets fouled. Oglethorpe trails 1, 3:47 media timeout here. And again, I think, John, you talked about this earlier. I think the wear down factor is going to come into play because we've seen Transylvania, to their credit, even though they're only playing 10, they have been pushing the ball up in transition. Oglethorpe's done a really nice job not to give them anything. They've made the Pioneers really work for everything they have. And we've seen those line changes that you're talking about, 5 at a time, I think will really wear down the Pioneers.
Yeah, Coach Ponder has already played, I believe 12 guys have gotten in the game so far. And if I look over on the side for Transylvania, I think they've only played 7 or 8. I think it may have only been 8. It's 8 so far. So that'll happen as this game continues to go along. Oglethorpe wants to continue to push the pace, and I think that's why this 1-3-1 defense has been employed. Try to make them make crisp passes and really get things working where they don't turn the ball over. If they can control the clock, and they've done a good job so far limiting turnovers, if they can do that, I do think eventually they will wear down the Pioneers.
And the Pioneers had gone to a kind of a really spread 2-1-2 zone defense the last time down the floor. And again, the whole intent is to slow down Oglethorpe and make them really work for an open opportunity. Robert Reisman goes to the charity stripe. Reisman is a 6'3" sophomore from Gainesville High School, shooting 60% from the free throw line, 3 for 5 on the year.
One of the things I found, if there is an Achilles heel early on in the season, Oglethorpe as a team only shooting 66% from the line, their opposition shooting 82. So you want to talk about hidden points where you could lose games. That's where that. But Reisman, no announcer jinx there, puts them both in, and immediately a little 2-2-1 press.
Again, making the Pioneers really work, wears them a little bit mentally. They go back into their 2-3 zone. Reisman and Benefield up top. Jordan James, Azigbo, and Janae down low. Reisman really working hard. Benefield coming out on Madsen. Madsen looks inside to Teague, who kicks it out to Jalen Green. and just at the shot clock knocks down a three from the left wing and puts the Pioneers back up 33-31.
Yeah, it's back-to-back threes for Green. He now leads all scorers with 14. So you're going to have to close out on number 4 and not allow him to get open looks.
Dylan Benefield from the top of the key, off the mark, loose ball in the paint. Hunter Penn rolled over, no travel call. Clearly his left cheek was his pivot cheek.
And they're going to get a jump ball on this. Looks like possession arrow going to stay with the Stormy Petro, so they'll take it underneath the basket. And it should be shot clock staying at 28 seconds with 2:55 to go here in the first half.
Well, they're going to go to 20. I think they're saying that Hunter Penn had possession on the floor, and then it was tied up, so they go to 20. Surprised they didn't wipe off the floor. Hunter Penn's a big guy. He was rolling on that floor. Oglethorpe, Benefield inbound underneath. They'll kick it out to Jordan James.
They're in man-to-man, it looks like, for Transylvania. I'd like to see James maybe in a 1-4 set, and Zigbo going to do exactly that. Just attack the paint against a guy that you feel you're physically more gifted than.
Dakota Caps on the take. Nice save by Dylan Benefield. Gets it to Jordan James. He's going to take it coast to coast, lays it in, and picks up the foul.
Yeah, that's Uba Azigbo. You got to love it when the guy that's playing center on defense has the ability to take the ball, full sprint, go coast to coast, and put it in with the hoop in the arm.
Yeah, my bad. Good call there. That is Azigbo. Beautiful job. Ties it up at 33. Trying to put Oglethorpe back up on top, and he does. Nothing but net.
Azigbo leading scorer for Oglethorpe. He's now got 10 on the night, playing a very good floor game.
Jalen Green's going to take it right at Azigbo and lays it in. Throwing over top the zone. Press. Got an easy hoop off that. Benefield at the point. Azigbo at the left elbow begging for the ball. They're going to go to Janae. Ryan Janae is going to take it hard. Little strong off the glass. Hunter Penn with the rebound. And again, Hunter Penn now jogging very slowly up the floor. A little bit of a hobble in there.
Not to be seen on the score sheet because Janae missed that. An unbelievable pin down screen by Jordan James. Janae had a layup, just unfortunately missed it. They're going to get a foul on Robert Reisman here. Reach in, going across the body as Matthew Teague was going up for a shot. Interesting, I guess they're going to call it on the floor. I thought that was going to be a shooting scenario. Yeah, only in the NBA.
Yeah, he said it was on the pass, so they give it to the Pioneers underneath. Dakota Caps looking to inbound it for Transylvania. Madsen with the ball. He steps out again. They have really had a hard time.
I'm going to tell you, Coach Brian Lane is hopping mad, saying he's looking down right on the line and he's not out of bounds. He said his heel was up. We can't see from our vantage point because the Oglethorpe bench is kind of blocking there, but that's the third time on that sideline that has been called out of bounds.
I've never seen anything like that. That's the third one, as you said. Benefield gets it inside the zone to Azigbo, who knocks it down, and Oglethorpe goes back on top, 36-35. Yeah, Coach Lane was not happy there. He said, I was looking right down the line. He didn't step out of bounds. Pioneers go inside to Hunter Penn, but a beautiful defensive play by Uba Azigbo. He's going to take it hard, kick it back to Benefield. Benefield probes with the dribble, goes into the paint to Jordan James, and he's going to lose the handle out of bounds, and it's going to be Transylvania ball with a little over a minute left.
Really good job there by Dakota Caps not to foul. The 6'1 freshman down on the block, probably not a place he's really used to defending, but did a good job. James turns it over. It's been a phenomenal first half by both teams. Really good action.
Dakota Caps has the ball up top. Goes to Alex Madsen. They're going right back inside to Hunter Penn, but once again, Uba Azigbo, he's going to pull from the left wing off the mark. Good aggressive. You gotta give him credit for that. Who was that? Matthew Teague into the paint, misses. Oglethorpe with the rebound. Dakota Caps Jalen Green tries to come from the backside. Ryan Janae, good, strong, solid senior, says, you know what, we'll take the last shot of the half here.
Shot clock and game clock about a half a second apart, maybe 1 full second apart.
Yeah, Dylan Benefield was looking back at Coach Ponder for directions on what he wanted him to do, and Dakota Caps reached in and slapped it out of bounds, or towards the out-of-bounds line, and as the two players scrambled to come up with it, they whistled Benefield for the foul.
That's a tough call there. That's one I almost would like a no call and allow it just to go out of bounds and play on. But now Transylvania going to call a timeout. Coach Brian Lane going to gather his troops, try to draw up something with 9.7 on the shot or on the game clock here at the end of the first half. A couple of things going on as we kind of look at the team stats. So far, been a back and forth game. Field goal percentage is almost exactly equal. Transylvania 15 of 31, Oglethorpe 15 of 32 from the field. 4 threes right now for Transylvania, which has gotten them back in the game. 3 of them for Oglethorpe. Free throws basically even, 3-1. Rebounding 18-16 in favor of the Pioneers. Ties 3, 7 lead changes. I mean, it has just been a very evenly played matchup so far here in the first half.
A really great half of basketball. Brian Lane with the timeout there for Transylvania. They have not used their first half timeout, so he took advantage of that to set up a play with 9.7 on the clock. Colby Napier will inbound. Looks like he's going to inbound to Alex Madsen. They've got Walker Kyle and Hunter Penn at the elbows. A little bit of a trapping action. Clock winding down. They're going inside to Penn, whose shot from the paint is no good. Ryan Janae corrals the rebound, and Oglethorpe heads to the locker room at halftime.
And Malachi Dooley.
Yep.
And they're back in their patented 2-3 zone.
For the Pioneers, it's going to be Teague, Dakota Caps, Colby Napier, Jalen Green, and Hunter Penn. That 2-3 zone for Oglethorpe.
Actually, it looks like they dropped into man-to-man here.
Got it inside to Teague. Wow, late whistle. Teague wheels Malachi. He had Malachi Dooley on his back. Thought he did a nice job defensively. The shot came off the iron, and as it was heading to a rebounder, then the whistle blew. So that late call goes against Dooley, and that is his. They do not have the starters or the second half starters yet up on the board. We'll have to wait and see. Matthew Teague, the lefty, makes 1 of 2 to knot it up at 36. They'll go into a little bit of man-to-man pressure. Jackson Kemp gets it into Malachi Dooley, who's closely guarded by Jalen Green. Zigbo, Hunter Penn trying to stay with him. Great job, Uba. When you got Hunter Penn on you, you better take him to the rack.
Yeah, and he did exactly that with the left hand, draws a foul. And that's the mismatch we talked about during halftime. If you can spread him out and make Hunter Penn try to guard Zigbo one-on-one. Again, Zigbo's going to have a hard time on the defensive end, but on this end, he took advantage of it. Now you just got to knock down a couple of free throws.
Pioneers up 37-36. Zigbo, first one, nothing but net, ties it up. That was Hunter Penn's second foul that went against him. Zigbo puts the Stormy Petrels up 38-37, 19 and a half minutes left in this ball game. Little bit of pressure now, that 2-2-1 press from Oglethorpe. Malachi Dooley going against Jalen Green. Green with a probing dribble, kicks it back out to Teague.
They drop back into the 2-3 zone on this possession, trying to take away some of the size advantage for the Pioneers.
Teague takes it in, kicks it out to Colby Napier. Right wing is good, and Transylvania goes up 40-38.
He's the first player outside of Jalen Green to hit a 3 for the Pioneers. Get good drive and kick, make the defense move.
Mason Kemp kicks it to his brother Jackson. Jackson to Ryan Janae, who's going to take Dakota Caps off the bounce. Janae kicks it out to Malachi Dooley, but a little off the mark with the pass, goes out of bounds, and the ball goes back to Transylvania. Dakota Caps brings it up the floor for the Pioneers.
Switch back to man here.
They, just like we talked about, offense and defense. On the defensive end, the Pioneers are going to go right at Uba Zigbo because they've got that offensive advantage from.
That's one when they're in man-to-man, you'd almost like to see a Zigbo front and try to make them make a nice pass over the top.
Nice little bit of European cut to a Zigbo off the mark from 3. Dakota Caps with the rebound, pushes it up the floor. Euro step by Matthew Teague, and the lefty hits the runner. The lead goes to 6 now. Oglethorpe takes it up the floor. Thought Matthew Teague got away with, I saw a lot of jersey in his hand as Mason Kemp blew by him.
Good fight under there by Dooley. They had Jalen Green open for a lay, and Dooley fought for it, made him shoot kind of an air ball on the layup.
Janae goes to Jackson Kemp. Jackson Kemp from the right wing, no good. Mason Kemp tips it. Great hustle by Azigbo. He's going to take it. Nice spin move. Hands it off to Janae, who lays it in.
That would be a SportsCenter top 10. Hustle for it, spin move, dish. Janae lays it in and cuts the deficit down to 4.
Matthew Teague is clearly gassed. Hunter Penn has his hands on his hips, and he's bending down. They're looking inside. They're going right at Azigbo, and Azigbo.
I think they're going to get a 3-second violation there, I believe.
Yeah, that's what they called. Yep.
I got to give a shout out. A good friend of mine, Matt Novus, watching our stream right now. He's good friends with the parents of Trey Harris and Griff Cherry. Said their parents are here. So Matt, shout out. Him and I played adult league baseball together during the summer, but he's listening. He goes, I recognize that voice. So shout out to Matt Novus.
Part of that North Paulding High School crowd, those two, Griffin and Trey. Jackson Kemp kicks it out to Dooley. Dooley hard to the paint. Left hand up and in.
Oh, what a move. The English off the glass. My goodness. That was a degree of difficulty of about a 17 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oglethorpe staying with that 2-3 zone. Hunter Penn from the left elbow puts it on the deck and scores off the bounce.
And if you're Coach Ponder there, you gotta tell your guys.
I was waiting for the whistle on that. That was second-degree assault in some cities. Malachi Dooley taking it hard again. Jalen Green with the hack.
And what I was going to say there, if you're Coach Ponder, you want to tell your defense, do not let Hunter Penn get to his strong right hand. They went to double team and then sort of backed off. He one-hand power dribbles and gets a nice little easy jump hook for the previous layup.
Yeah, when you've got the defensive speed and athleticism, you cannot let a big hoss like that put it on the bounce and score. Dooley misses his first from the stripe. Oglethorpe down 4, 16-14 left here in the ball game. Been a great ball game. Dooley's second one is in. The deficit cut to 3.
Back in that 2-2-1 press. Again, trying to speed up the Pioneers and play at the pace that Oglethorpe wants. This isn't necessarily a defense to cause turnovers. It's just a defense to really make you work to get it across the timeline, and they barely did before the 10 seconds was up.
Dooley and Mason Kemp up top. Hunter Penn again puts it on the floor. You just cannot have that. You can't let the big guy beat you off the bounce against essentially 5 guards on defense. Jackson Kemp is going to pull for 3 off the mark. He just hasn't found his stroke tonight. Oglethorpe going to go with subs here. Dylan Benefield checking in. Trey Harris, Robert Reisman, Tyler O'Donohue, and I think Chris Feeney checks in as well. Maybe not on that one, but at least those first 4. We're going to go to the media timeout. 15:32 left in the ball game. Pioneers up 48-43.
Yeah, a little run here in the second half for Transylvania to take the lead. Oglethorpe, a couple of turnovers, a couple of bad shots right there. Jackson Kemp, I'm sure Coach Ponder doesn't mind him shooting in the flow of the offense, a 3, but that one, it was almost a step-back 3. Kemp, matter of fact, on the year was shooting 50% from downtown, so I'm sure he doesn't mind allowing him to shoot the ball. That's one you might want to make one extra pass try to find an open shooter and see if you can get a knockdown jumper.
Yeah, Jackson shooting 50% from the arc coming into this ball game. Mason at 44, and they just haven't hit tonight.
And you talk about overall, and you look at the summary of this game, three-point percentage, it continues to go down right now for Oglethorpe, shooting just 25% from downtown, 3 of 12. They're 0 for 3 here in the second half. A couple of open shots they have not been able to take advantage of.
Hunter Penn with 6 here in the second half, and Matthew Teague with 4. Though that's 10 of their 12 here in the second half.
You talk about Benefield in, Feeney is in, Reisman is in. Looks like number 10, Trey Harris is in, and number 4, Tyler O'Donohue. That's the 5 on the floor for the Stormy Petrels.
Clock wasn't started. We'll reset. 15:31 left in the ball game. Oglethorpe down 48-43. They're in that 2-2-1 press. Another whistle. Not sure what that whistle was for. Brian Lanes asked the baseline official why the whistle, and that official said, I have no idea.
I think Oglethorpe would have lived with that. It was a 3 that was going to be shot by number 20, Kobe Napier, who missed, but unfortunately the play was whistled dead.
Jalen Green inbounds to Dakota Caps. Alex Madsen in the middle of the floor for the Pioneers. Hunter Penn on the backside.
Thought we were going to get a backcourt. He did not establish the entire body into the front court, though.
Yeah, for the Hunter Penn with the offensive rebound and the putback. That one hurts. That's a dagger. 50-43, down 7 now. Oglethorpe needs a hoop. Benefield goes to Trey Harris. He kicks it out to Feeney. Feeney from the left wing off the mark. Tyler O'Donohue battling for the boards, couldn't come up with it. Jalen Green with a nice take in transition. Crosses up Feeney for a hoop, and the Pioneers up 9.
Coach Ponder not happy, just kind of shook his head on that one, saying you got to get back on defense, cut the guy off, do something.
Reisman with the strong dribble across court, cannot make it. Alex Madsen pushes it for the Pioneers. Dakota Caps lays it in, and Philip Ponder's going to take a timeout as the Pioneers now pushing in transition, get a little bit of a run as we talked about, now up 54-43.
And not what you want, 11-point lead, biggest of the game. You're going to have the timeout here on the floor. First time that has happened where one team has really pulled in front of the other one. It's been missed shots, run-outs, not a lot of transition defense. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Ponder goes back to the original 5 that he had on the floor.
You got to quell the storm a little bit. 6-0 run coming out of that media timeout. So I think 1 minute and 10 seconds, and it was a 6-0 run, all in really aggressive transition, pushing the ball hard down the floor. And they have run out to an 11-point lead now. Transylvania up 54-43, and I agree with you. See if he's going to stay with that group right there.
It looks like he is. It's actually an 8-0 run. It was Malachi Dooley hit a free throw to cut it to 46-43, and then it's been a Hunter Penn layup. It was another Hunter Penn layup. It was a Jalen Green layup, and then you just had the layup from Dakota Caps. So you're going to have to find a way right now, get back into it with your defense, rebound, get them off the offensive glass, and do anything that you can.
Transylvania has 3 guys on the floor. They just rushed Dakota Caps and Alex Madsen onto the floor, so they get their 5.
And they were going to go with the big 3.
Yeah.
Except there was no LeBron on the floor.
Wow, Chris Feeney made a nice back cut there. Robert Reisman missed him. Feeney now putting it on the bounce, looking to the opposite corner. Great save by Dylan Benefield to keep it in Oglethorpe's hands. Benefield with the take. Yes, good call. Alex Madsen says my hands were straight up, but you got him with the body, and that'll send Dylan Benefield to the free throw line. He is 6 for 6 coming into this ball game from the charity stripe.
Yeah, and this is 2 you need to knock down. He did miss the front end earlier on, but when you have a chance to score with the clock stop, this is your opportunity to come back. I like the aggressiveness there from Benefield getting to the basket. Unfortunately, misses the front end of the 2 free throws.
Benefield, a 5'11 sophomore out of Kennesaw, Georgia, Mount Perrin Christian School. Knocks down the second to cut it to 10. Madsen inbounds the Caps, who gives it to Colby Napier. This will be a little bit of a zone set against that 2-3.
Interesting, they have their point guard right now, number 11, Dakota Caps, down at the foul line.
Colby Napier from deep on the right side of the top of the key, 57-44. You could tell he is a really strong shooter out of Hindman County, not County Central High School, really good high school program in Kentucky. Benefield with the drive and the dish. Got it to Tyler O'Donohue. Alex Madsen thought he got a clean block. They are actually going to, I believe, call it against Hunter Penn.
Yeah, good move right there by O'Donohue with the head fake to get two guys in the air and then go up with it. There definitely was some contact across the arm.
Yeah, they did call it against Hunter Penn. Hunter Penn actually came out and talked to the official and said, "Sir, I was in the middle of the paint on that." But that is really a tough call because Hunter Penn has been a part of this big comeback, and that is his third foul. And we see Luke Schroeder, the 6'9 Australian, checking in for Hunter Penn. Tyler O'Donohue short on that first free throw. This is, you talked about, this is a weakness for them. They've got to be a better free throw shooting team. They knocked that one down, but you can't go to the charity stripe and make 1 of 2. You've got to convert your free throws.
Yeah, that's 3 times in a row they've gone 1 of 2 from the line. 8 for 11, not bad. You'll take 8 for 11 pretty much any night, but when you're down 12 points like the Stormy Petrels are, you'd like to have all of these go down.
Tyler Green with the really strong take. Jalen Green, gets the driving layup to go up 14. Benefield working against Alex Madsen. Benefield takes it to the glass, left-hander off the glass, no good. Dakota Caps pushing it up the floor now. Goes right by Feeney and lays it in with his left hand.
Coach Ponder is calling it the next line change. He's going to bring back his starting 5 after another basket to put Transylvania up 16.
Malachi Dooley going to the table, said we've got to get it going to those guys as they checked in. Pioneers with the steal. Trey Harris with a block, but he's going to be getting called with the body. Another turnover resulting in a run-out layup, and the Pioneers now will shoot 2. They're up 61-45. Definitely got the run going with the momentum.
Jalen Green was going to try to go up and hammer that one home, and Trey Harris was having none of it. Looked like he got ball. Unfortunately, got a little bit of body down below, and Green will now go up trying to knock in 2 more free throws. He is the leading scorer still on the game with 16.
Stormy Petrels.
Actually, I'm sorry, he has 20. Let me not short him.
Stormy Petrels have their starting 5 at the table. They are checking in. That is Uba Ezigbo, Malachi Dooley, Ryan Janae, and then Jackson Kemp and Mason Kemp checking in. They need this unit right here to play about 5 minutes to get back into this. Down 16 with Jalen Green taking his second free throw. They need a really good segment from this group.
This is where Coach Ponder, you almost want to turn up the intensity press-wise, maybe more than they're comfortable in doing. You got to come up with some turnovers because this went from 3 to 17 in a hurry.
The Pioneers go back to their 1-3-1 spread defense. Dooley gets it to Jackson Kemp. Jackson Kemp goes inside to Ezigbo. Mason Kemp looks at the 3 but doesn't take it. Dooley, nice ball handling, goes to Jackson Kemp. Ezigbo, who goes backdoor to Janae. Janae just rims out a layup. Pioneers pushing it right down the floor. They get it back to Jalen Green for 3. He misses. They're going to get a push on Luke Schroeder. A nice box out there by Jackson Kemp. And the 6'9 Australian, Luke Schroeder, just shoved him. Picks up the foul. Oglethorpe needs to convert right here.
Tough on the previous layup. It looked like Janae just lost the ball as he was going up for the lay-in. A really good backdoor pass by Ezigbo. But those are ones that you're going to have to convert on. You have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Ezigbo for 3 over the 6'9 Schroeder. Boy, they needed that. The Stormy Petrels needed that.
It looks like Zigbo going to be called for a foul underneath, battling with Schroeder. Again, the offensive, kind of mismatch between Zigbo and either one of the bigs. And I guess they're going to go to the media timeout here as well. 62-48. Right now, Stormy Petrel's trail with 11:41 to play in the game. Now, they're going to have to find a way right now. They've been outscored in the second half, 27-12. A little bit of sloppy play, a little bit of inefficiency shooting the basketball. Find a way, Coach Ponder, whether it's pressure, whether it's run-outs, and maybe you're going to have to knock down a couple of threes, as you just saw there.
I think it's all those things. One of the things I know that Coach Ponder likes to do is double on the post, and they'll front, and then they'll run the double from the backside. We haven't seen that yet tonight, but and we haven't seen them front the post. They've been playing behind, and to get the 6'3" Zigbo pinned by either the wide body Hunter Penn, who's at 6'5", or the 6'9" Luke Schroeder is really a tough defensive assignment. But Zigbo only has that the board shows it's his first. What's our box show? That's his first foul call. I thought he had one in the first half, but we're not showing that.
He's done really good. Zigbo right now the leading scorer with 17. 3 rebounds. This is where Oglethorpe, unfortunately, they're getting pounded on the glass. Hunter Penn with 10 rebounds and 16 points. Already a double-double for the Pioneers.
11:41 left in this game. 62-48 Transylvania leads. They've got the ball inbound under Alex Madsen. Goes inside to Schroeder. It's thrown away. Stolen by Jackson Kemp, who takes it coast to coast for the lay-in. There's that transition you talked about. Get a quick score. They're going man-to-man. Nope. Well, they might be in that switching. Yep, they're in that switching man-to-man. Malachi Dooley doing a great job, and it's Mason Kemp comes up with the steal. Jackson gets it to Jackson Kemp, and Jackson Kemp is called fouled by Walker Kyle, and right away Brian Lane goes back to his bench and gets Hunter Penn, Colby Napier, and Dakota Sparks caps right back into the ball game, pulling out Kyle and Schroeder, and one more guy's got to come off the floor.
And Jalen Green going to check out. A little bit of limp as he walks off the floor. 2 plays in a row, Kemp able to stick his hand in there on a weak side defensive help and cause a turnover. This could be a little bit of momentum going right now for Oglethorpe.
Dooley with the ball up top on the left, gets a screen from Zigbo. Little bit of a back screen, flare screen action. Nice fake by Jackson Kemp, pulls up, spins, but he cannot hit the fall away. Rebound by Colby Napier, who gets it to Coda Caps. Good take by Matthew Teague, drew 2 defenders who left their feet. He kicks it to Hunter Penn. Penn lays it in. They're going to get Mason Kemp on the foul, and Hunter Penn goes to the line up 64-50, trying to convert the natural three-point play. He misses. Long rebound, though, goes to Matthew Teague. Matthew Teague takes it to the glass. We're
going to get 0. Matthew Teague with a push on the rebound. Zigbo was upset on the free throw miss. Felt like they went over the back, and it looks like Oglethorpe in the bonus. They have 17 fouls on the Pioneers, so they're going to go the other way and get a little 1-and-1 action.
They got to make those free throws. Foul is going to go against Matthew Teague. Jackson Kemp was fouled on that push. So big advantage if you convert your free throws. 10:40 left. You love to score with the clock stopped. Jackson Kemp pure on that one. Cuts the deficit to 13. And a huge advantage here. They're going to be in the regular bonus at 10:40. And Oglethorpe only has 4 team fouls to this point. Second free throw by Jackson Kemp is good.
And what the make allows you to do is set up your defense and really lock in.
That 2-2-1 press. Matthew Teague just gets it across. Good defense. Brian Lane, coach for the Pioneers, brings Dakota Caps over, calls a play.
Shot clock down to 8.
Hunter Penn at the shot clock hits the fall away jumper.
I got to tell you, Hunter Penn is a very skilled kid at 6'5", using his body and a nice touch, being able to
kick out to Ryan Janae. Beautiful drive and dish by Dooley. Finds Janae on the left side. Philip Ponder cheering his crew on. Down 11 now. They've cut it to 11.
Got to find a way to keep Penn from getting the ball, root him out. And it almost looks like Coach Lane is playing the old Roy Williams stall technique here, realizing his team maybe not as deep, don't want to keep running.
Caps goes out to Napier. Penn, rebound. Madsen tries to save it off the back of the glass. Is a turnover. Goes back to the Stormy Petrels, down 11. A 3, actually a 2 will cut it to single digits. 3's even better though. Dooley, little bit of handle problems, kicks it out to Mason Kemp. He's going to come back to his left for a 3, off the mark. Dakota Caps, Brian Lane telling his point guard, keep pushing. They're going to get, I think, Mason Kemp on a grab there. It is on that drive. They got the hold. That's only the 5th team foul, so now Transylvania inbound under. They've gotten some wide open layup looks off their sets. Oglethorpe needs some strong defense. And there's the open look. You just got to, if you're going that 2-3 zone, that doesn't mean you can be on your heels.
Right.
And they have run some really nice inbound sets and got some wide open looks. Hunter Penn again with that look, now with 22 points for the Pioneers. Jackson Kemp all the way to the glass, misses with his left hand.
I think he thought there was going to be a shot block opportunity. He had an open layup, and unfortunately, a couple of times here in the second half where you've had layups with a chance to cut it, you don't get it. You've got to find a way to keep Hunter Penn. That is a very skilled big man at 6'5", wide body with the ability to knock down shots.
Penn came up the screen. They iced the screen, but Colby Napier gets it. He's going to take it on the take. Nice rebound by Jackson Kemp. Finds his brother Mason down the floor. Thought he got fouled. No call. The official was in position, but no call. 68-57. Stormy Petrels down by 11 again. Brian Lane holding the ball up a little bit, eating a little bit of a clock.
Coach Ponder telling them get their hands up right now. You can tell the Oglethorpe starting 5 a little bit fatigued as well. You got to close out, get hands up, and get in these passing lanes.
Caps goes cross court to Napier. Teague gonna get called for the charge. Malachi Dooley takes one. Beautiful job waiting there for Teague. Teague extends that elbow, displaces the defender, and that is a big turnover. Brian Lane out on the floor talking to the official, but you could clearly see from our angle that Teague, who's a left-hander, had it in his left hand, pushed off with his right, and Dooley took the charge. 68-57, Pioneers lead, but Oglethorpe will have the ball here, and this starting group of 5 has really done a nice job to cut into that lead.
I know Coach Ponder typically wants to do some substitutions. This group has shaved 17 down to 11, has another chance right here to potentially cut it to single digits. They do look a little bit fatigued, but you almost have to keep this 5 on the floor, do you not? Run them as long as you can and try to get back into this game.
I think you do, John. If one of the guys is, and of course you got the benefit of this media timeout, and they've got 2 other timeouts left, and they'll have the 4-minute media timeout. So I think you do. I think you have to keep them on the floor as long as you can. If one guy gets gassed, maybe put a sub in. I don't think you're going to see the 5 for 5 the rest of the way.
Yeah, and if you look, so far Janae has played 22 minutes, Zigbo 22. On the other side, Hunter Penn's played 28, Jalen Green 27, Dakota Caps 29. So you should be the fresher team, and Coach Ponder doing exactly what we thought he would do. Same 5 staying on the floor. You got to have an opportunity to knock down some threes here. It looks like Transylvania, at least from here, may go to man-to-man. And if they're man-to-man, I'm looking for a Zigbo to try to take Pence off the dribble.
They definitely are man-to-man, and they are going to take him off the dribble. That's a tough break. That's a rub cut by Malachi Dooley, and they call a moving screen. And he really didn't position. That was a quick whistle, almost like he was looking for it. I hate that call, because it's called a rub cut. You make the pass, and you cut right off the butt of the defender, and then the ball handler comes off that cut, and they call the moving screen. Didn't think it was. 68-57. Brian Lane's got his crew walking it up the floor. Whistle here. There's a clock issue.
They're going to check Benefield in back at point guard for Dooley. I believe that's the third foul. Coach Ponder going to take him out and see if he can get something with Dylan Benefield. Benefield right now 0 for 3, unfortunately, from the floor. Has hit a free throw, has 3 assists on the day.
Was starting at point guard the first 3 games. Came out of the starting lineup tonight. They really need him down the stretch here to step up. Benefield, Kemp, Azigbo, and Janae on the floor. Blocked by Azigbo. Janae comes up with it. Dakota Caps went down hard. Think his left knee. Azigbo with the jam! Cuts it to single digits. The crowd explodes. 68-59.
That's where the overplay we talked about in the very opening possession. Overplay on a 3. Backdoor cut, Janae. And you can hear the Oglethorpe crowd going bananas. Azigbo with the 2-hand hammer to stuff it down and cut it to 9.
Well, Dakota Caps, I think, hit his funny bone on his left elbow, stayed down for a minute, and was slow to get back into the mix. The Stormy Petrels did not delay. It was 5-on-4. They found the guy who wasn't defended, and that was Uba Azigbo, and Azigbo took it hard to the rim and slammed it home. 19 for Azigbo.
You got to look right now to, again, come up and play defense the way that they have. 19 for Azigbo. Janae, who set him up there with a good backdoor cut. He's got 12, also has a couple of assists. Again, Coach Ponder slimming down the rotation just a hair as he's trying to find the right combination. Same 5 back out on the floor. Dylan Benefield, the only non-starter out there, so he's going to run the point. And again, they're going to go back to this 2-3 zone, try to match up and try to cause some turnovers.
Benefield, the sophomore, the Kemp brothers, freshmen, Azigbo and Janae, the 2 seniors on the floor. Pioneers get it inside to Matthew Teague, the left. He kicks it out to Jalen Green. Jalen Green buries the 3, says something to the Oglethorpe crowd as they go back up 12.
5th 3 for Jalen Green. And again, you suck down because you have a mismatch on the inside.
Nice. Benefield backdoor cut. Mason Kemp does a beautiful job finding him with the bounce pass. Pioneers up 10 with the ball. Alex Madsen trying to get it to Colby Napier. He does.
Got to get some stops, some rebounds, finish possessions.
Hunter Penn looming inside the paint. This is Jalen Green again, off the mark this time. Benefield with the rebound. Alex Madsen trying to probe. Benefield drops it. Tough pass. Janae didn't have great spacing. Benefield dropped it off, but literally dropped it off at his feet, went off his foot, and goes out of bounds. Trey Harris checking in. He's going to get Mason Kemp. Mason Kemp really needs a blow there. He's given a lot of energy, a lot of hustle there. Trey Harris can do much of the same thing. One of those 2 guys out of North Paulding High School that you talked about earlier. Coach Ponder really loves this young man. He's very skilled. Dakota Caps with the ball up top. Colby Napier there on the left wing, gets it to Jalen Green in the left corner. Skip to Alex Madsen. I think they'd be glad to give it to Madsen. Loose ball, scramble. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be possession. Oglethorpe, big turnover there.
Yeah, you're starting to get into a time scenario there where every single offensive possession is going to be huge. Got to find a way to score the basketball here. Again, you're in the bonus. Find a way to get to the line and score when the clock is stopped.
Benefield with the ball now. Finds Azigbo with Penn on him. He's going to try to take him. Pulls up for a free throw line jumper. Uba Azigbo, nothing but 2. It's 71-63, 5:40 left in this ball game.
Really tough step back jumper, foul line, able to knock that down. 8, the closest they've been in about 8 minutes. Again, come up and play defense, finish the possession with a rebound.
Pioneers spreading it out, just taking their time. They've got the clock advantage. Alex Madsen, oh, tough call. That is a tough call.
Wow.
Madsen put it on the floor. Ryan Janae absolutely picked his pocket. The problem was the center official who made the call completely screened from seeing that steal.
Are they going to call this a shooting foul?
No, 1-1.
1-1. Okay, they're in the bonus, 1-1. Oglethorpe crowd really loud.
Madsen's free throw rattles in. That is a tough call. Well, it's 72-63. They're down 9. Oglethorpe's got to just be resilient now. You got to overcome those kind of things. Madsen's second shot, again, rattles around and good. Janae gets it to Benefield. Down 10, 73-63, just over 5 minutes left in this ball game. Benefield with it up top. Gets it to Jackson Kemp. Looking inside to Ezigbo. Ezigbo from the right elbow off the rim. Rebounded by Penn. Penn gets it to Dakota Caps. And the Pioneers going to take their time with a 10-point lead, under 5 minutes left in this game. Looking inside, they're going lob. Beautiful play by Jackson Kemp. Glad he didn't get hurt there. He landed right on top of the ball with his left ankle, but it didn't roll. It did go out of bounds, so Pioneers inbound now. Can't give up an easy basket again. Jalen Green goes over to Colby Napier. He is standing on the line, and it's going to be a turnover, a much-needed turnover, John.
I love seeing the crowd just taunting the kids as they turn the ball over, saying, bye-bye. We need a run right here, Roy. This needs to be a 10-0 in about the next 2 minutes and get this thing back tied. That
spread 2-1-2 defense slowing down Oglethorpe. Oh, wow. I was going to say, let's get a foul call. Stink. Dylan Benefield, hard take, and he just gets chucked by the defender. Slow whistle, but they did get the whistle. Now Dylan Benefield, who was 1 of 2 from the line last time there, has got to knock down both. Got to score points, John, with the clock stopped.
Yeah, and this is where I said that's your advantage. Get to the line. Team fouls, it's now 9. After this one, it's no longer 1-1. It'll be the double bonus.
They are 10 of 13 tonight. Benefield got that one, so now 10 of 14. Boy, they needed that. Second one, trying to cut the lead, the deficit to 8. That one is off the front of the rim, no good. Hunter Penn with another rebound, gets it to Jalen Green. Green brings it up quick, but Dakota Caps gets it back to slow it down. 1-4 high set from Transylvania. They're looking inside for Hunter Penn. Setting some interior screens to try to get the ball to Penn, but he can't get it. Jalen Green thought about it, but pulled it back. Alex Madsen goes inside to Hunter Penn. Hunter Penn, free throw line turnaround. It's good.
My goodness, Hunter Penn with 24 on the night. He's also chipped in 13 rebounds. They have had no answer for him down on the block.
He's 12 of 16 from the floor now. E.J. Ezigbo takes Penn. That's the one disadvantage that Hunter Penn has. Uba Ezigbo really took him to the cleaners on that one. Jalen Green cuts, Colby Napier hits him, easy basket. John, can't give up those in a game like this.
Now down 11, 3:30 to play. You got to lock in and almost get stops on every possession for the rest of the game if you want to make a run and come back.
Dylan Benefield up top, trying to get the ball to Ezigbo. Their defense has pushed our offense out quite a bit. Benefield takes it, draws contact, no whistle, but he hits the spinner. Now 77-68, 3 minutes left. They're back in that 2-3 zone. Brian Lane's offense will just take all the time it needs. Go back to that 1-4 high set, swing it to Colby Napier up top. Dakota Caps with it. Jalen Green now kicks it over to Alex Madsen. He finds Jalen Green. Jalen Green buries a 3.
Jalen Green and Hunter Penn have been the magic elixir for Transylvania. 29 for Green, 24 for Penn every time.
Trey Harris from the right corner. Oglethorpe needed that. Ponder gets a timeout. Philip Ponder with a quick timeout after Trey Harris buries the 3. Alex Madsen had that ball on the right wing for Transylvania. and he drew two guys closing out on him. Now, you don't know this as a player, but he's 0 for 4 from the floor, and you take him away and you give a wide open look to Jalen Green. That is just the nail in the coffin. That hurts so much. I would think we're going to see pressure now. Down 9, 2.5 minutes left. You're going to have to force the action. You're going to have to try to get steals.
I ask you as a coach, with 17 fouls and 2:31 down 9, do you play the 1-and-1 game here for the next minute? Because I'm about to foul and try to put somebody on the line and see if you can get them to miss the front end of a 1-and-1. You don't want them, and they've literally from about the 9-minute mark gone spread, take their time on offense and not doing a whole lot. So I might play the foul game here. Go for a quick steal if you don't get it. Foul and see if you can get somebody to miss the front end.
I'm right there with you, John. I think you have to at this point because you can't. You've seen the Pioneers slow the ball, hold it way out at half court to eat some clock. Right now, you've got to put them at the free throw line and say, hey, if you can knock down 2, you can knock down 2. What you can't afford to do is allow them to run 20, 25 seconds of clock and get a 2.
Yeah, and they've hit a couple of shots right up against the shot clock, and now you're going to go full-on man-to-man.
Full-court man, yep, full-court man.
Man-to-man, like Billy Packer would say.
They get it to Alex Madsen. Madsen gets it to Dakota Caps. They went for a quick double. Hunter Penn on the transition layup. You can't give up those layups with pressure. Thought they'd foul early. They might have been trying to foul with that double team. Uba Ezigbo, I don't know why I want to call him EJ Ezigbo, but Uba with the missed layup. Hunter Penn gets the rebound. He's calling spread. Brian Lane calls spread on their offense. They're just going to eat clock here. 2 minutes left in the ball game. They're up 82-71. Caps pulls it out, looking inside to Penn. Penn dishes out to Alex Madsen. He misses. Trey Harris with the rebound. He begins to push it up the floor. Benefield is going to take it hard to the rack and is going to get fouled by Dakota Caps.
Yeah, again, and that was back to your point earlier with the open jumper that you allowed to Jalen Green by closing out on number 2, Alex Madsen. That's his 5th miss of the game. Again, he's played a very good floor game, really good defensively, but I think they could live with him shooting jumpers with 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Dakota Caps really close to getting a technical foul there. Brian Lane's trying to explain to him, doesn't matter how unhappy you are with the call. We're up 11. We don't need a technical foul here.
And with 1:40, you have to play the foul game at this point, because if you allow them to milk even 20 seconds off the clock, you might only get 3 more possessions for the rest of the game. So it may be 1-and-1 foul time. Go man press. If you don't get the steal, turn and foul and see if you can get a miss.
Benefield knocks them both down 9. Trying to take away Dakota Caps. There's that double team again. They did. Ryan Janae slipped a little bit, but that's okay.
I'm not sure Janae wanted to foul. I think he stumbled and just reached out and grabbed.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to double there, and he was going down. So they do put Alex Madsen to the line. Madsen comes into this ball game. Let's see here. He is 2 for 3, came into the game, and has a 1-and-1 here. He's off the rim. Janae with the rebound, kicks it out to Benefield. They got to push. They're down 9. Uba Ezigbo lays it in, goes by Penn. Telling him to press. They get the ball into Dakota Caps. They double. Madsen with it. Thought they'd foul him there. Madsen just missed one. They were trying to get the 10-second call. They don't get it. Jalen Green with the layup. Penn battles, offensive rebound, kicks it out.
That's a killer. You had a chance to get the possession finished. Green did you a favor rushing. Minute to play, now down 7. You don't want to foul now with 8 on the shot clock.
Colby Napier misses. Jackson Kemp gets it. Benefield has got to push it up the floor. Take it to the rack. Absolutely. Lays it in. Makes it. Cuts it to 5. They've got to foul here, John. Nobody's on Caps. There they pick it up. Almost got the steal.
That's what you have to do, and hope again on a 1-and-1 scenario you can get a miss and a push. This is the last 1-and-1. That's the 19th foul on Oglethorpe. Caps, one of their starters, he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, he came into this game. He's a freshman, came in shooting 3 of 6 from the free throw line. He has not taken any, not taken any free throws tonight.
A lot of noise. Crowd knows that this is a big miss. You got to box out as well.
Got the box out on Madsen, but it doesn't matter because Dakota Cap sinks that free throw. Second attempt now. Brian Lane checking Matthew Teagan. That'll allow him to set the defense if they make it. They miss it. Azigbo with the ball. Push it, Uba. Down 6. They found Trey Harris. Back to Azigbo. He is off the mark, just off the mark. Jackson Kemp misses the rebound. Ryan Janae goes in to foul Dakota Caps. They got the look.
In and out too.
Yeah.
Had the right player, right shot, right look, right on line, and just goes in and out. That would have cut it to 3. Now you have to hope that Caps, who just missed one at the line, can miss both, and you could somehow get a basket on the other end.
I was right in line with him and the basket, and he was just slightly to the right on that. Dakota Caps, the freshman again at the charity stripe, makes that one. They're up 7. Now it's a 3-possession ball game, 31.8. You still have to play the foul game that you were talking about. You just cannot allow any clock to go off. Matthew Teague checks back in.
Remember, in the college game, there is no advancing the ball on a timeout, so you always have to take it under. I'm a huge fan of this. I hate the NBA advance the ball game, but now you're going to have to really rush.
Azigbo to Benefield. Benefield takes it hard to the rack, kicks it out to Jackson Kemp. Jackson Kemp a little strong. Trey Harris out to Benefield. Benefield's 3 blocked by Jalen Green. Nice block on that 3. Uba Azigbo's got a foul. 15.8 left in the game. 85-77. Transylvania up here, and Jalen Green goes to the charity stripe. Green came into this ball game 2 of 3 here early in the season, and during the game he's 1 of 2.
He's looking for point number 30 right now. He's got 29 on the night. Knocks that one in for his 30th point. Now a 9-point lead with 15.8 left. Unfortunately, that looks like the nail in the coffin. The Azigbo missed 3 that was open, and students look like they're headed for Thanksgiving break.
Colby Napier checks back into the game. Coach Lane's got to pull somebody out. He's going to pull Alex Madsen out. So the starter's back on the floor for the Pioneers. Oglethorpe gets it in.
Pressure too.
Azigbo to Kemp. Jackson Kemp cross court to Benefield. Trey Harris open from 3. Knocks it down from the right corner. Coach Ponder takes a timeout. 7.5 seconds left. Harris with the big 3. Cuts it to 7. But I think that's going to be too little too late.
Great effort, though. Unfortunately, a big run early on in the second half really doomed Oglethorpe. The game was very evenly played. Outside of a run when it was 46-43, an 8-0 run really broke the game open, and Oglethorpe's been playing from behind ever since. And I will say this, Coach Ponder may have found a rotation here in the second half that he's very comfortable with. Uba Azigbo's had a tremendous ball game for them, 25 points on the night. The problem is the glass. Hunter Penn, 26 points, 17 rebounds. 17. The leading rebounder right now for Oglethorpe, just 6. 31 points for Green. Hunter Penn with 26. The inside-out game has been a lot to overcome. The size disadvantage that Oglethorpe has had, unfortunately, reared its ugly head at points here in the second half, and they just could not get the job done.
Well, we've said over and over, Hunter Penn, quite a player, 6'5" kid, out of sophomore, by the way, out of Versailles, or Versailles, as they say in Kentucky, Woodford County, home of Woodford Reserve Bourbon. And,
might need one of those tonight.
Yes, but had 8 rebounds in the first half, 9 in the second, had 8 points in the first half. And what'd you say he was at 26 now? So 18 points, 9 rebounds just in the second half.
And we're going to get a technical foul on Caps, pushing and shoving underneath the basket. It's going to be 2 shots and the ball, I believe, for the Stormy Petrels. And if you're Coach Lane, you cannot be happy about this at all. He warned them about it earlier. He's actually going to pull him off the floor.
Same official. He almost picked up a technical at the 140 mark. and it was the same official who saw it and teed him up and said enough's enough.
Now, is that two in the ball, or is that
it
just?
It is two in the ball. So 87, now 82. No, it isn't the ball. They get the 2 free throws. It goes back to the Pioneers. That's a change. They can run the baseline here. They're going to bring all 4 down. I'm sure somebody, probably Jalen Green, is going to go deep. Matthew Teague, the lefty, is going to throw it. It's actually Alex Madsen who breaks away from Robert Reisman, trying to dribble out the clock. Reisman tries to grab him. No foul called. And a young Oglethorpe University Stormy Petrel squad battled tonight.